Hello, Milken community. My name is Alan Delajani.
I'm David McNamara.
And I'm Noah Karabi.
And we are the co-presidents of the Civics and Debate Club here at Milken. In light of the upcoming election, we thought, as leaders of the Civics and Debate Club, we will be having a debate regarding the new phone policy that was passed this year. Noah will be arguing in favor of the phone policy, and David will be arguing against it.
So to begin, I think one of the most positive aspects of this phone ban is with the increased focus in class, in that students without the immediate availability to their cellular devices aren't as distracted or don't have the capability to be as distracted as if they would have them. This phone ban kind of, while that sounds negative, has a really positive effect on the actual productivity of the students here at Milken. What do you think, David?
That's interesting, but there are also academic difficulties that come with a phone ban. I think probably the biggest loss is a lack of instant communication. As club leaders, whenever we have a room change, whenever we need to update people on dates, there's now a significant delay between when we send out an email and when people receive it. That can be especially difficult if, say, a teacher is absent and needs to sort of create an alternative lesson plan for students, or if there's a new room that students need to move to. So I think there are academic difficulties with that as well. What I'll also say is that I personally am kind of a klutz in terms of all the meetings I have to go to. So when I need a reminder, I would usually have my phone buzz me. But now, because there's a lack of that, I find myself, missing more meetings. What do you think about that?
I can connect to that. I relate to that. Throughout this year, especially for the meetings and setting up this club, even our Civics and Debate Club, I have been unable to, show up exactly when I need to show up, where I need to show up, because of the inability to, check dates and times that I would be able to otherwise do with my cellular device. But I honestly think that in situations like that it's better within our community, at least, to foster an environment where students have to be more capable or self-dependent, meaning that, checking your email and making sure when everything is in your day, and not having your phone to constantly remind you is, especially in preparation for the rest of our lives, is, more essential than it ever was.
Very interesting. I think in terms of responsibility, phones can in many ways teach responsibility. Like you said, I think it is partly up to students to decide whether they want to engage with the learning.
Well, guys, thank you for having this conversation. It was a very respectful and productive debate that I think opened up each other to the other's perspectives and to the possible benefits of the other side that you hadn't considered. If you want to know a little bit more about what Makhloket means, I'm going to go over what they did well and how that pertains to, how you can also have more productive debates in your own life. So what both sides did really well is that they gave each other enough time to speak their point. They didn't necessarily get impatient or interrupt them when they wanted to make a counterpoint to something they just said at the moment. They allowed each other to speak, and they kept their arguments short enough to where it didn't feel like they were talking over the other person. Most discourse happened in such a way where they said something like, I don't necessarily agree with your point. I don't think that it is completely true. They still admitted that there are valid components to the opponent's argument, but they still may have disagreed with them. They didn't completely shut them down. Thirdly, is that they didn't attack each other's character. They didn't resort to playground insults or just, saying things that aren't necessarily appropriate just because they were losing. They respectfully either disagreed or agreed. Because at the end of the day, we're not necessarily opponents in anything. We're all trying to make our community better. And by debating in a productive manner is how we do that.
I do agree with what you're saying, and I think there's definitely a lot of value in all these factors. I mean, I remember, being younger, being, maybe not the most rational human being in the world, getting into an argument and getting lost in the emotion involved with that argument.
Building off of what you said, I think that it is also really important to understand is that as we are growing up and becoming adults, and we have to be more politically involved, and we have to listen to more about these things, on news channels and, about different candidates arguing each other. And we see constantly of people who are just not having productive debates. And I think that it is our duty as the next generation growing up to try and almost bring that back a little bit, where we are more respectful to the other people, because we have to be more empathetic.
Yeah, and Milken is like an amazing testing ground for this, because not only is it a small community, a tight-knit community, but it is also an incredibly diverse community, especially politically. We are in a very politically diverse school. I would say one of the most politically diverse schools in the area. So we have this kind of crazy opportunity to be able to go in and say, okay, we do have disagreements. We aren't a monolith like a lot of other schools are. We do have people who come from one background. We do have people who come from the other. We say, how do we take these experiences and be able to discuss them in a way that is rational, in a way that is healthy, becoming models for America at large?
We have to understand that we're all in this together. We're not trying to, this isn't about winning or losing. It's about trying to understand how to more productively move through the world by putting our ideas against each other so we can produce something even better than the sum of its parts.